What is going on, Internet? This is JD coming from the video for Redskins. Right, hail to the Redskins. Before I get started, please like and subscribe to this channel. Also leave comments down in the comment section down below. If you have any questions about anything I go over in this video, it helps the algorithm, helps get my channel notoriety. We hit 250, so that's a pretty good milestone, I'd say. So I was at 200 a year ago, so that's not bad. Went through 300 before season starts, but without further ado, I want to go over some things. So, the Redskins, the free agency period has pretty much started in the NFL. And even though with the virus going on, they're still making moves. Players are still signing, and business as usual, so to speak, in the NFL. So, I do want to go over a few things. The Redskins really haven't made any huge moves yet. They've done some good moves. Basically, they're going the route of conservativeness with money when it comes to, basically the best way to put it. They're going a very conservative route with money. That's the best way I can put this without saying they're being cheap. So far, they have let Eric Flowers walk. He's not playing for the Redskins anymore. They have not traded Trent Williams yet. I don't care what you get for him. Just need to get rid of him. I'll get into that here in a minute. They have not restructured Ryan Kerrigan, so at this moment he's still making $11.5 million. And we have signed three players. So 4 players if you want to count one other. So first thing I want to go over is we franchise tagged Brandon Sheriff. Horrible idea. I'm not trying to say Brandon Sheriff was not a good player, but it's a horrible idea to franchise Brandon Sheriff. He is 28 years old right now. That means coming off this franchise year, he is going to expect... He's getting paid like $16 million this year. He's going to expect to get $16 million next year. It only makes sense. I mean, that's what the team is willing to pay him right now. Or it might be, it's 14. Okay, it's actually $14.781 million. And basically what the team expects from him, that's pretty much what they value him at. That's if I was Brandon Sheriff, that's exactly what I would say going into negotiations next year. Listen, you pay me almost $15 million. That's the baseline. That's what I deserve per year. He's 28. He'll be 29 by the end of the next season. And then we're going to have to either let go of someone that is 29 years old that wants almost $15 million a year when he's not worth it. Or we're going to sign someone that's 29 years old to like a 4 or 5 year extension and he's not going to be worth it. So why not just move on now? Get someone we can get long term now so we know we don't have to worry about this position for 3 more years. We have to deal with the same crap for another year. We dealt with crap last year. He won an extension last year. We didn't get it. Didn't get an extension this year. We franchise tagged him, and next year we're going to have this crap again. It's typical Washington Redskin BS. It never changes. Doesn't matter who the coach is. Same old crap never changes. You should have just either extended him, give him a decent contract now for next 3 years or whatever, or cut him. Let him go. Let him make free agency. Let's use that $14 million elsewhere. But what do I know? So, Washington Redskins, so that's our one franchise tag we have. We used it on Brandon Sheriff. Not saying it's a horrible use because he is a valuable player, and in a lot of ways, when he's healthy, he is good. He's a Pro Bowler. Just the problem I have with it is he hasn't been healthy consistently. And the money he wants for as old as he is, I just don't think it's worth it. I personally don't think it's worth it, but that's just my opinion. So, all right, moving on. So the first real move we made was re-signing John Bostic. Let me find the salary here for John Bostic. 2 years, $2.5 million a year. It's actually not a horrible contract considering he was an adequate linebacker for us. And with not knowing what's going to go on with Reuben Foster, we can't just go into the season with just Cole Holcomb as our middle linebacker. So the fact that Bostic took I wouldn't say it's team friendly. It's pretty team friendly. It's only $2.5 million. $2.5 million a year just to retain on the Redskins, and we have 2 adequate linebacking options, and we can always cut them, and I'm pretty sure we can cut them and save some money, but whatever. But that is the logic behind signing him. We can't go into the season with just Cole Holcomb and Reuben Foster as our middle linebackers, because Reuben Foster, we don't know if he's going to be back yet. He might not be back at all. He might be done. So we don't know that. And what are you going to rely on? Are you going to rely on a middle line, or are you going to draft a middle linebacker? I mean, you just can't rely on that. So that's the logic behind getting John Bostic. Not to mention, he's not a horrible player. He's not the greatest. I mean, there's much better linebackers we could acquire. But he was a for sure thing, and he wasn't very expensive. And then the second acquisition we got Wes Schweitzer, guard, age 26, out of Atlanta. We got a 3-year deal out of the guy for $13.5 million. That's about $4.5 million a year. Not horrible. I don't hate this deal because it is a very cost-efficient deal. Okay? So I don't hate this deal because he's not the greatest player, but he's also not the worst. We did get someone to replace Eric Flowers. We replaced Eric Flowers for a fraction of the cost. Eric Flowers got $10 million a year out of Miami, where I said he was about $8 million, so I wasn't too far off, but I wouldn't have gone all the way to 10. I wouldn't have done that. He's got to make his money, so I understand. I hope he does well, just not against us. But Wes Schweitzer, young guy, he's adequate. He'll get the job done. So we pretty much have, if Trent Williams stays, we have our whole offensive line figured out. I mean, I guess it's the best side, it's an upside. But we still haven't made any decisions on Trent Williams. And then the third acquisition that we have at this very moment, and this is at 10:17 on Tuesday morning, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. And I'm wearing green, a little bit of green, a little bit of Mario. Is Kendall Fuller, who was someone I wanted to sign. I think we overpaid a little bit for him. I don't think he's worth $10 million a year. We paid $40 million over the next 4 years, so it's $10 million a year. He's 25, so we will have him for the next 4 or 5 years, or next 4 years for sure, but he's still young. He's in his prime, and he was good for us when we had him. So I don't hate the move. So it's a good move. I like him. It's someone that I wanted. The only problem I'm having with it is we haven't got any big acquisitions for positions we need. We still haven't gotten what I deemed was necessary, was to replace Morgan Moses, to replace Trent Williams, get rid of both of them, clear cap space, get rid of both of them, replace them with free. If we get more Wes Schweitzers, I'll be okay with that because they're not going to be too expensive, and we actually can afford depth rather than just afford a lot of money on players that aren't extremely good. So we have our center, we have our left guard, we have our right guard. We still have backups in Wes Martin and Pierce Brocker. So we still have that going for us right now. And then we have, like I said, we have Morgan Moses. I can't stand Morgan Moses. I hope we get rid of him. I just hope we get rid of him. That's why, like I said, I should be GM. I could definitely fix this team's problems in a heartbeat. But we're not making any aggressive moves at the moment. So I do want to go over some things, though, with that the Redskins can still do to make some more moves. We can still get rid of Trent Williams. If we trade him, we save ourselves, I think it's like $12.5 million. So we can use that $12.5 million to sign his replacement or to get other positions that we need. We still have, it says $36 million, but then it says after the estimated cap space, we're going to have about $43 million. That's with 51 people. So right now we have about $36 million to still spend on players. We still need positions to be filled. We don't need, everyone keeps saying we need receiver. I don't think we need receiver. I think we need a draft receiver. We've done well drafting receivers further down with good talent evaluation. I think that's better for us to do than to go out and overspend on a receiver like Paul Richardson we did a couple years ago, and then we're having the same issue we'd be having then. Now he didn't pan out. We wasted money on him. So, but to be fair though, he was injury prone, so he probably should have got the money. But I digress. So, what the Redskins need to do now? They still need to trade Trent Williams. I still think just cut Trent Williams in. If no one wants to trade for him, cut him. We save the money. We can spend the money elsewhere. Let's move forward in all this. I don't understand if this is Ron doing this, if this is our GM. I don't even know who our GM is at the moment. If this is Ron doing this, he really needs to just. I wish I could have a conversation with. Listen, get rid of the dead weight, the problems. Get rid of your problem areas. Trent Williams problem area. Morgan Moses problem area. Okay, restructure Ryan Kerrigan. Get about $6 million off or $5 million off what you owe him this year. Okay. Apparently, there's rumor also that they're looking to trade Dwayne Haskins. I mean, honestly, if we trade Dwayne Haskins, let's say we trade him to Miami, and Miami gives us their 5th overall pick. I don't hate that because we can still get Isaiah Simmons. We might still get Chase Young. There could be a handful of things we could still do for that, but I'm not getting into potential trades that we're going to do. This is what I want us to do. I don't care. I like Haskins, so we can keep Haskins. He's a good enough quarterback. I think going forward, if we focus all of our energy on him, we're going to be fine when it comes to Dwayne Haskins. The other, I still say we need to just trade Trent, or trade a cut Morgan Moses. We're probably not going to trade Morgan Moses, probably cutting him, and then restructure Ryan Kerrigan. Those are the things I think are the 3 most important things we need to do at this very moment when it comes to our current roster and what's on our roster. Now, free agents, there's still plenty of free agents out there that we can look for that are available. There are safeties out there that we need to get. We need to get another safety out there that's going to play counterpart to Landon Collins. Okay, there's 2 available right now that are still available. Carl Joseph, I like him. He's not very expensive. We can get him for 4 years, $24 million. We can probably give him $25 million, and overpay a little bit and give him $8 million a year or something like that, and it'd still be a good value for us. Okay, we could probably still give him good value. He's valued at $6 million a year right now. I think we can get him for probably $8 million a year, and we still have cap space left over. We get him $8 million a year right now for the next 4 years. That's $32 million. Okay, looking at our cap space situation, we still have $35 million left if we do that. Carl Joseph is legit. He'll play very well alongside. He'll play very good alongside Landon Collins. I think that'd be our best bet. The other option is Trey Boston. Trey Boston is a little bit more, has a lot more value to him. He's going to be worth about $10 million a year or more. Considering the fact that we just paid Kendall Fuller $10 million a year, I don't think that'd be the best route. It's a lot of money invested in our secondary. That's the route I would go. I'm just being honest. I would go the route of Carl Joseph, and he's 26, so we'll have him for the next 4 or 5 years. The only thing I could say in counter to that is Trey Boston. It wouldn't be bad. He's a little bit older, so wouldn't want to sign him too long term. Everyone knows my philosophy. I think you gotta get him younger. I'd rather get a younger player who's got upside than get an older player who's proven it, but they're going to be on the downside of their career pretty much the entire time you pay them. Vaughn Bell would only be the other one that I would look to sign. Like I said, team-friendly deal, or it'd be financially friendly. If Redskins are going the route of not overpaying for players right now, which honestly doesn't make sense if they're going to overpay for Kendall Fuller, but I digress. Kendall Fuller, he's one of our own. We drafted him. We had to trade him. We didn't have much of a choice to trade him to get a quarterback, and then we got him back. And I think the deal we got him on is not bad, considering he's replacing. He's a Super Bowl champion right now. He had a good season last year. He's had a good career the entire time he's been in Kansas City and when he was with us, and so on and so forth. So that is what I think we need to do right now with the secondary. I don't think there's any more corners that we should go out and spend money on. Xavier Rhodes is out there, but he's 30. There's not a lot out there. I don't want to spend, like Eli Apple would be a good one, but he doesn't have a market value, so I don't know what we could spend on him. There's a couple. I'm not going to get too much into it. Daryl Worley is another one. He played for Artie Burns is another one. He played for Pittsburgh, and his market value he's not that expensive, so we might be able to get Artie Burns. So there's a couple options, but mainly the one option that everyone was like hell bent on that we needed to get was like Bradbury, and he's not there. And I told him, like, I don't know why everyone was so hell bent on getting the guy. He's going to want max dollars, and he's going to go somewhere where they give him max dollars, and we're not going to give someone max dollars. We just got rid of a max dollar guy from Carolina, so we don't want to repeat that again. And obviously, what's his name, Ron Burgundy and Gold Rivera, probably had some insight onto how good or bad that player was, and that's why he didn't want to break the bank to get him. So All right, so really defense is not much you need there. Maybe you get an extra corner if you get one cheap. That's like just to build depth. But really, what you need to go after on defense is the second as a safety in free agency. So, with that being said, now let's talk about offense. So, offense, we have a quarterback, we have a running back, we have plenty of running backs, we have wide receiver. But I will look at wide receiver because I know a lot of people are concerned that we don't have a wide receiver. So, there are people. If you hear anything, my wife's in the background. She has to work from home because of the whole the corona the virus. Devin Funchess is a free agent. He's not horrible. I mean, I think he's pretty tall, if I remember correctly. He's like 6'3", I think. Let me check this out. I don't think he'd be... I'd personally... 6'4", yeah, he's a big receiver. I just know... I think in Carolina he had problems catching the ball. So... and I think Ron let him walk for a reason. What is it? Brashad Perryman... Yeah, he ain't worth no $8 million a year. Robbie Anderson, that's the one everyone wants. If you're gonna pay for a receiver, you might as well get a good one. You might as well get one that's $12 million a year though. Damn. You might as well get one that's good. If you're gonna get a receiver, you might as well get one that's good. So I don't disagree with the logic behind that. If you're gonna get a receiver, you might as well get the best on the market, which at this moment is Robbie Anderson. So that's not the worst. The better option would have been to trade one of our running backs that keeps getting hurt. Sorry, I'm a little nasally right now. It keeps getting hurt and trading him for DeAndre Hopkins. That would have been the best thing to do. But I digress. So there's not a lot of receivers on the market right now. It's Emmanuel Sanders, but he's old. He's 33. Although everywhere he goes, he does have pretty good success, but he's not. I wouldn't pay $10 million a year for him. So the only ones I would look for is Robbie Anderson. He's 27. Devin Funchess, which you can probably get pretty cheap right now. So those are the only ones that I would look for. Brashad Perryman wouldn't be horrible either, but he's not worth the money that they want. So any others that I would consider? No. Nope, that's it. So I'd rather go to the draft to get a receiver than waste money on one. Okay, so tight ends. There's not a lot of tight ends left. Okay, Eric Ebron is not a bad tight end. He's on the market right now. There's not a lot of young tight ends either. Both the young tight ends have been signed. Austin Hooper went to Cleveland Browns, and you have what's his name? Hunter Henry got franchise tagged by San Diego. So your options are very limited on the free agent market when it comes to tight ends. There's just not. I'm looking through. There's just not good options here. The only thing I can say is since the Cleveland Browns signed Austin Hooper, maybe we can try to trade for Njoku. That wouldn't be a bad option. J.P. Holtz wouldn't be a horrible option. He was actually on our team last year, and we didn't sign him to our. What's stupid last year is we had to cut Holtz because we didn't have enough people because we thought Jordan Reed was going to be able to play, and we thought Vernon Davis was going to play. J.P. Holtz was on our team. We had to cut him, and he got signed by the Bears, and like 2 days later, what's his name's out with concussion. It pissed me off. It's stupid. Okay, so who would I get in that? Receiver-wise, I would go for Robbie Anderson. It's $12 million a year. If you're going to get it, you might as well go for the best. Okay? I still say we go free agency, or we go through the draft and get a receiver. You can get a receiver late round, big body receiver. And then tight end wise, I don't really have an opinion on tight ends. J.P. Holtz wouldn't be bad. Maybe trade Njoku, bundle in, get Njoku for what's his name, Trent Williams, and like a third round pick or something. That'd be the best trade I can think of right now. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of interest for Trent Williams because then he thinks he's worth $20 million a year and he can't even finish the season. That's just pathetic if you ask me, but I'm not going to get into that at the moment. All right, so if we trade Trent, so here's what's available when it comes to left tackle. I don't think there's a great amount of options, but there's enough options that I can look it over. The best one available right now is Greg Robinson from, the youngest one, let me rephrase this, is Greg Robinson from Cleveland. His salary last year, $6.4 million. Wouldn't hate that because he's affordable. And we have more money to spend elsewhere, like getting rid of Trent. Right tackle. Let's look at right tackle. anyone here I would say is better than anyone here is better than Morgan Moses. So let's look here. Right tackle would see who's the best. Afida. And when I look at age and then their productivity. LaRaven Clark wouldn't be horrible. Rashad Coward. There was a really good lineman from Brian Bulaga. Wouldn't be bad, but what's his market value? $10 million a year. Wouldn't hate that if we're replacing Morgan Moses with Brian Bulaga. I don't hate that ideology because let me see how much Morgan Moses makes. So is it worth it or not? Morgan Moses. Morgan Moses makes $7.7 million a year. So it's an upgrade. You don't have as many holds. How old is it's a 2-year difference in age, so I don't think there's it'd have to be a short contract for Balaga. But it's just really not a lot of options. And then are there any guard options that we can maybe move someone out there? Not really. Andres Pete. I still say we should get him. Andres Pete. From New Orleans. I did say we should get him earlier. That would be I would have got him rather than Wes Schweitzer. So, all right. So, basically, the Redskins still have plenty of options out there to bolster our defense. I still say that I'm hell bent on this. I'm not going to let up on this. The Redskins need to go after a safety, the safety that the best one available right now is still. You can go after Trey Boston if that's what people want. But that's not who I want. I want Carl Joseph. It seems like it'd be a better value for us over the next 5 years than Trey Boston. Not to mention, Carl Joseph has familiarity working for Jack Del Rio because Jack Del Rio used to coach in Oakland with the Raiders, and then that's where Carl Joseph played. So that'd be the route I would go personally. And then, like I said, corner, I think we still get another decent corner. Tight end or a wide receiver, I went over a wide receiver, Robbie Anderson. If we're gonna spend the money, we might as well spend the money. Okay. Tight end, JP Holtz, trade for Njoku, but there's no free agent tight ends that I would spend a lot of money on. Ebron's not bad, but I don't think he's worth his market value. I've had him in fantasy. He doesn't do well in fantasy. Maybe he's a blocking tight end. They don't give stats for that, so I don't want to reset the market for him. He's not worth I don't think he's worth $10 million a year. Not to me. I'd rather get JP Holtz and then take my chances in the draft. There's plenty of guys in the draft we can get right now. So I was going to do a fantasy draft after the moves, but I'm going to wait a little bit closer to. The draft before I do that because we still have tons of money we can spend, tons of players out there that we can sign and get in our building to make sure we can draft what we need and draft depth rather than drafting to have to start someone right away that we got in the 4th round. So that's my video. It's not very long. It's actually 20 minutes, but it wasn't supposed to be very long. I just want to go over some of the options that we have at this very moment. And kind of what we've already done. I don't hate the moves we've done so far. I just don't like the fact we haven't made any great big moves, any blockbusters. Redskins historically have overspent in free agency. Now it seems like historically we're kind of underspending in free agency. So I wish we'd find a happy medium where we actually go for players that we need. There are players out there that we need to put on our roster to make sure we can get the job done and to make ourselves competitive. Okay. Ultimately, like I said, we have the money to add 3 or 4 more positions that could be starter caliber or at least replacement level in the NFL. Are they going to be studs? Maybe 1 or 2. Robbie Anderson could be a stud alongside McCarron. AJ McCarron. Terry McLaurin. I'm sorry, McLaurin. I'm going to say McLaurin. So there's tons of things we could still do to make our team better, but we have to pull the trigger and do it. We just can't sit back and let everyone else take all the good players. So we have some of the most money we've ever had in the history of our franchise to draft or to sign free agents. So I don't know why we won't do that. But this is Redskins Rant. This is JD. Thank you for watching. Like I said, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And leave comments in the comment section down below what you think we the Redskins should do going forward. Like I said, some things are already done. It's done. Let's move on. We can't harp on it. But the only thing we do is pick going forward. And then Probably after more of this free agency stuff's done, I'm going to do a more accurate to the letter of what the Redskins need to do in the draft. So, thanks for watching. See you.